Shika DJ, santeni. Thank you so much. Situme kidogo. Number 1. Wale wanataka kuandika waandike, wale wa kurekodi warekodi. My global audience, don't know what I'll do with them. Napenda kuchanganya na Kiswahili sana. I'm streaming on my page and many of them are all over the world. But to translate for them later. Mukikosana musiende kwa in-laws. When you differ, don't call the two families to amua you. Only the two of you can solve the issues between the two of you. I'll give you a few exceptions that come in. But as long as it's the two of you who have wronged each other, anybody who comes to give you a solution, itakuwa kama imepakwa kama rangi kutoka nje. It will be an outside thing that it will never be, you never own it. Are we together? Ladies, hello. Don't call up your mom to tell how your husband is misbehaving. Ladies, because you never let your mothers, you are always with them. I'm specific about that. If you call your mom to report what I'm doing to you, she loses respect for me forever. Are we together? The wisdom, what did Paul say that the wisdom is supposed to start where? In church. Isn't it? We start here ourselves. We don't go to courts of law. Okay. You as a man, if as a man you lift your phone and call your mother-in-law to tell her how the daughter is misbehaving, you are a narcissist. The first sign of a narcissist is they totally disregard your parents. They cross boundaries to report you. The other sign is they are two different people. When they are in front of people, they're very nice, lovey-dovey, holding you, but in private, they are an animal. They're telling you, Kwenda uko, you made me work, so who do you think you are? Nobody wants you. Privately, they are a demon. Publicly, they are an angel. Whenever you have a person with two distinct personalities, the word narcissist, I mention it because most victims spend years and decades without knowing what they're dealing with. If your person has two different people and you know it, and the world does not know it, narcissists are those people who lack empathy, completely selfish. They have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. They derive energy, ego boost from tormenting you. When you cry, they feel energized. A belief about marriage to keep you captured for life. I have lost people, death. Narcissistic abuse kills. It kills. Because you are forced to endure the abuse and act like everything is normal outside there. Those are two problems. Those who die of narcissism, they die from heart attack. They die from, when you hear young people, 31-year-old with kidney failure, 34-year-old with heart attack, a 28-year-old who has stroke, those diseases don't arrive early, except in the presence of high levels of stress. Are we together? COVID took away, everybody was weakened. They were the first ones to go. The ones who are very weakened by stress. Of course, there are people who can get heart attack from other causes. I'm just saying narcissistic abuse, high levels of emotional manipulation. The narcissists cause something called cognitive dissonance. That's a big word for, because they wound you, they talk you so badly. But when you decide to pack and go, they apologize so heartily. They even gather a reconciliation meeting by pastor and church, all the people you respect. They act so, but soon after the apology, you pay for it again. They even taunt you for making them apologize. One day, if a friend of yours tells you they are being tormented, narcissists cannot even have normal sex. They must wound you using the sex. They do it in a manner that inflicts you pain. They withhold it when you want it, and they force it when you don't want it. If you try to wrap your mind around a narcissist, you will run mad because they are not normal. I'm describing it because some of your friends are suffering from it, so that you can save a life. Are we together? Where did they come from? Today I can't exhaust them. But where did they come from? They have a twisted core. A twisted core. They cannot empathize. They don't even love their children. They possess their children the same way they possess cars. They cannot co-parent, they counter-parent. They don't model values, they model vices. You plant values, they uproot and plant vices. They disappear from the children and reappear like a hero with all the toys and all the things of forbidden your children to make you look dull and boring and them hero. So they appear like a hero to their children to be praised and you to be diminished. My wife reminds me to talk slowly. So because she's here, I'm careful. Pace yourself. Guys, we need our wives to pace us, okay? But the one purpose of your partner is to save you from your own chaos. Brothers alone. Brothers, wave at me. Hello, brothers. We know very well without this woman, how many others will be hovering over your life like a voucher. The moment you get some money, girls pop up from nowhere. And many of them are very dashing. Sometimes more dashing than... Anyway, I was going... because they don't have character. Women who don't have character build charisma. They are not wife materials. So they work on the thighs, on the shoe, on the shape, on the warmth, on the giggle, on the perfume. They can slay you. They're not working on bringing up a baby or washing your clothes or cooking for you. They don't have to worry about family finances. Mpango ya kando is always a counterfeit. Those men who tried to remove the real wife and marry mpango ya kando, they realized she never had substance. You thought she was wonderful because you are seeing her only on Tuesdays. Stolen meat is sweeter. She never had to play the role and carry the weight of your life. She was playing a window role. The woman who was carrying your life did not have time for acting. She was dealing with the reality. Brothers, hello, wave at me again. Drop that illusion that you could have gotten a better deal. It is a mirage. Women, when they are pregnant, when they give birth, their shape changes. So she does not look as dashing. Who told you you also look as dashing? You know, we judge women by the shape. Let us try to dress you as a man and also evaluate you on the same scale. Please, before the judges should be able to be measured on the same scale they are judging others. Your woman is dealing with life. Evolve with her. She's the best you could get. But then let me tell you why she's the best you could get. She withstands your shenanigans. She can deal with your moods. She knows there are some things she knows about you if she were to tell them to the world. You would immediately lose your titles. Let's just start with the dressing. How many things would you have walked out wearing if she was not around? Have you noticed that women are notorious for showing us things that are just in front of us? Socks zangu zimeenda wapi? Nilisema socks zangu na hiyo nini unaangalia hapo? Unachukua tu ukiwa embarrassed. Who moved my things? Now where is my watch? I said my things should not be moved. Sini unaangalia hapo, sifunue hiyo box. So, and it's not, I'm describing the virtuous woman. The virtuous woman has substance. And she also knows how to dress and look nice. I want to warn women. When men are naive, they think, oh, women are tidy. At least tidier than men. When you are there are girls who are very careless. There are women who don't dress. Even they just dress up when they are going out. When you enter her house, it looks like a kikomba. She has roommates called cockroaches. There are women who are not clean. If your woman is clean, you are lucky. If your woman has the sensitivity to clean the house, please cooperate. When she tells you not to step with the shoes on the near the door, not to muddy that place, to always do this, to those small things that she's irritated about, and we keep forgetting them. Please cooperate. And men, I hope none of you after eating, you expect your woman to pick the plate for you. Let us define marriage again. A voluntary union between two adults for mutual benefit. Marriage is a mutual beneficiary partnership, not a master and a servant. You don't sit on the sofa set with an attitude the way your father used to sit, with a newspaper and the legs somewhere. And he eats and leaves them there. As a man, modern man, you partner with your woman through life. You don't lord it over her. She is not your subject. She's your partner in destiny. She's your co-sojourner. She's your co-traveler. She's your co-fighter in the battles of life. Give her respect. Be a gentleman. Serve her food when you get to kitchen ahead of her. Siji kama hapa kuna mkisiwa kwa traditional sana. Wanasema waingi kitchen. Let me touch on something. It's a taboo. Even from my great-grandfather. We are a new generation. We have been called what? Holy priesthood. Yes, we respect our culture, but this woman is fighting your battles for you. You are supposed to help her in the small things. After you eat, take your own plate to kitchen and wash it. Don't leave it there when they are finished eating. Wash your plate. Nobody is supposed to clean after you. You are not a boss. You are a friend. You are a friend. Why are you acting bossy? We know you. Okay, can we announce men have Acacia today? Of course, there are women who prefer their men not to go to kitchen. There are women like that. If your woman prefers that, obey her. But how many are they? How many of those women are here? Sorry, none of them is around. So, my sister, did you say you prefer him not to step in the kitchen? At least that brother has been saved. For him, the kitchen is curfew. For the rest of us, you need to know when mafuta is being finished. You need to know when unga is running down. You keep shaking the gas cylinder to check how far it is. You order the water and take it from ground floor, bring it up. She should not lift the water to the dispenser when you are here. You're the one who has muscles. What if she injures her back? Do the simple things in the house. And again, I don't want you to send your woman up country. Live together. You're doing life together. If when you married, she was in Garissa and you were in Nakuru, you work towards coming together. You don't work towards going apart. If they give you a job and it is requiring separation, you weigh, is this job worth the separation? Can you give us both jobs, both of us there? Tell the company, I can only take up this job if my wife gets another one around. If you assist me, the better. We can come next week. Otherwise, I must stay with my children and my kids. Guys, our fathers were not married to our women, to our mothers. They possessed them like something like a pseudo-slave. That's not your case. That's why they never went any far. Our fathers were in the hands of side women. Their destinies collapsed. Of course, there are few achieved and few are friends with their women. But the general culture was what? The woman was ranked closer with the children. Isn't it? This woman is your colleague in your destiny. This woman is your friend. Let me come to play. You must play and be easy like friends. Don't be uptight and you don't want jokes. Chemistry, Jews, people keep asking me, how do we bring back the flame? How do we bring back the spark? What is the secret? Well, what happened? Now our relationship is so flat. Oh my God. Play, joke, dance, tease. Make it, create time for empty time that does not have serious discussions. Drive around. I don't have enough time, but I wanted to ask you, what makes the two of you feel closer? Have you noticed what makes you feel closer? You need to answer that question. If you don't have an answer to that question, you are flying blind with your marriage. You're flying blind. For us, we know is when we spend time together in whichever way. Driving somewhere, working. Ideas come up. We talk, we shape ideas. We observe things together. We discuss things. Although sometimes she's not in a talking mood. So let's talk about the non-talking moods of sisters. One brother has declared the meeting officially open. Sometimes sisters keep quiet because you've hurt them. And they don't explain it to you because they expect you to know that you hurt them. You should read their mind. You should observe your behavior. So when you see that she's not talking, you start evaluating all your sins for the last. You start conversing tentatively. Is it this? Or could it be that? Could it? Sisters, it is childishness to keep me in suspense. We cannot build a family if you expect me to read your head. You can take a few hours offended because when I was talking in family church, I said something that offended you. You can keep quiet as we drive home. But please, by the time the night comes, can you just text and say, when you said this and this, it hurt me? No, I'm just using an example. She doesn't give me blackout for a week. If as a woman you are giving your man a blackout for a week, let me spare the name I was going to call you, but you are very childish. You should not go past a day without talking. What if other things happen? When you're not talking, life is passing by you. There were ideas you were building on. There's a plot you had mentioned and he hadn't seen it. There's a car you were considering and the guy has called. There's something you are working. Now when you have locked me out, how do we do that? We miss opportunities. And you are there having a pity party. You are doing everything with an attitude. Throwing food at me. You sleep and you face the wall. And I have to sneak in and avoid ruffling. Most of us men, we are trying to grow and be patient. But please know, even the patient have a limit. Don't test us too far just because we are prayerful. For a man to be emotionally open to you, it is taking him effort. If you damage me, if you wound me because I'm open to you, you're forcing me to retract. Men behave like turtles. They come out of the shell emotionally to interact. But if you wound them, they retract. So you kept quiet for 2 weeks. By the time you came back, I had gone away. One guy was being carried by a pickup. You know, their home was given lift by a pickup. Then this pickup was driving so fast. Then at some point, I don't know brakes where they went. The brakes, they stopped working. Then it is pumping. So at some one pump, he was thrown up. By the time he came down, the thing had gone. Women, if you go too up, if you go too high, by the time you come down, we will have left. That's how people stay as roommates and they're no longer emotionally connected. Don't hurt us because we hurt you. Even if you can't talk. Some women, if they are angry and they open their mouth, God have mercy on you. So me and my girl, because she's the retreating type, the women, when they get angry, they are combative. Combative, you can do things, you regret them. It's better to compose yourself first. And if you can't control a normal conversation, text. Say, this is what I did. This is what you did. And I'm very hurt. Is that how you take me? I feel disrespected. Women, remember to push your boundaries. Don't allow to be disrespected. The same way to men. When there's a guy used to be served in the cheapest plate. The food was always brought in plastic plates. And they have good plates, but it is our geni. Why should she risk the good plate being broken by children and you can just use when mwenyeji unaelewa? So eventually, it was not a big offense at once. But eventually, he kept asking, I keep noticing a pattern. What is this? One day, he was wise enough to raise it up with her. Said, why do you serve me those kind of plates? I could have. But again, I said as men, when I'm tired, I just arrived. She serves me. She was in kitchen. She was served. But I will also join her there to catch up with the day. Join your woman in kitchen. Chat. Sometimes she wants to get unga, but it is too high. So just get it for her. It's those small things. Sometimes the cooker is acting up. Just because she has turned this one, she did not notice this one. You just help her in those small things. Again, I know some of you have not factored. Don't let your woman break her back washing clothes and she also has a career. If you can afford a washing machine, get one. In any case, women are buying most of the assets, but they're buying it in our names. They make it look like we are the ones who bought. When she's working, she doesn't mind equipping her house. And if she minds, she's the wrong type. Bring her to me for counseling. And women, how many of you are first daughters? You are the first daughter in your mother. Wait, raise up your hand quickly. Thank you. Please don't carry your family, the other family here. Your mother updates you even when a chicken is sick. And you have to mediate between the mother and the father, the children and the mother, the children and the father. You're always on phone, on issues there. Gradually win them. Winning, the way you win a child from breastfeeding. Win your family to let them know you have your own family. Let them learn how to survive. You were the center of things before you got married. Most first daughters play that role, isn't it? You were mothering everyone. Being a first daughter is very difficult. The world does not see that you mother everyone, including your mother. But now, after you get your own family, you need to win them away. Let them give you space. So, we have said, one of the things you need to know is learn how to be easy, how to play. Find things that make you laugh. Brothers, after you leave work, don't go spending all the hours with your family or with your boys. And more so as brothers, do not tell your mother things before you tell your wife. Don't disclose to your mother or that close sister you have before you disclose to your wife. Talk to your wife. She is your first friend. Brothers, it is illegal. It is wrong to let your people in on your issues more than you discuss with your wife. In fact, I prefer my wife to handle my brothers when there is money to be done with. When I realize they want more money, I hide behind her. Cooperate. When you realize her people are exploiting you, let her protect you. Protect each other. Are you getting it? Just organize it. Because atakuitisha M-Pesa na itishe huyo pia upate mnatuma nyote. Na mmekopiwa the same message. Gasi yangu imeisha. Mmekopiwa same message. Unashtukia hata wali mtumia. Now, issues to do with money, guys, everything you earn is a joint effort. Hata kama pesa ilikuja kwa account ya nani ndiye alilipwa mshahara, because we are together now, we are living together. Everything we are earning, we are doing it as a team effort. Are we together? Hata kama iko kwa account yako, it is family money. From today, consecrate all your money to be family money. All of it. The purpose of getting married is to become a team, to dissolve your individualities gradually and become one unit. So that you think alike and you know the goals in front of you. You know where you are. If I had time, I would have done a game. We shall do a game. I give you a paper to write for me your priority projects separately. The husband writes, the wife writes. We see whether they write the same things. What is your priority now? When you get the next money, where is it going? What are you guys saving for? Pastor was telling me what they are saving for, what they are working on. The wife knows you. Are you together as friends? Wanaume, don't let your boys come between you and your wife. When you talk with your boys, talk boy things. There are some things you talk with boys, they have nothing to do with the family. Just Arsenal and Manu. Just Chelsea and who. That is different. The ideas they give you. Oh, thank you, sir. The ideas they give you about growth. When I was buying a car, my first car, the guy was helping me. He's very vast with the cars. We went with him, but I kept updating my wife. We have seen this one. Hey, how do you like it? Yeah. I did not bring a car at home to surprise her. This is the one we are using. I let her know even the amount we are using, how much we needed. Do not let your spouse to be surprised by strangers. Being told, Bwanako ameonekana Nakuru. How much do you communicate per day? You need to be talking constantly, at least 3 times a day, like painkiller. 1 times 3 at minimum. The reason is because something can happen in between the hours. Life happens rapidly. She can be involved in an incident on the road. I'm always very careful with my wife's phone. The other day, she was scratched by a matatu. I'm the only person who can rescue her in the situation. She's driving a matatu inamuingia vibaya, so I have to rush and rescue. What if I was not picking? But you also need that close friend who can rescue situations when you're out of reach. You also need a friend who is as good as family. If you have one, you're lucky, but you don't have to force it so that you don't give the job to the wrong person. Then they exploit it. But generally, you should be very reachable to your wife. You don't switch off your phone when you're a family man. Even at night, you just put vibration because an emergency can arise. Isn't it? Or a job opportunity. A friend tells you, by morning, send a CV to this number. Isn't it? Send your CV to this number. When I have 2 phones, I always leave the office, the work phone, away. But the personal one, I'm with it. Because sometimes things, you need to be called to move, do this, and all those kind of things. There's a guy who was in the house, and when somebody knocked on the door, it's the wife going to open. It's men who face the world. It is the men who go to protect the family. It is me who want my woman here, me here, I face the world. Men, we must be both a lion and a lamb. A lion, out there you roar, you hunt, you work with stealth. Next time, Pastor, give me men alone. There's a skill of hunting and looking for jobs. I must teach men. Because wanaume usilegee your woman to be earning more than you, you lose something. If it happens, sometimes she has a better job now, it's okay. But you're also working very hard to catch up. Akipata promotion usimkataze, don't be so childish. Don't be so childish unamkataza kazi because you're insecure. We say this is team money. She's bringing it for us to progress. We needed the money anyway. But there are some things men must do to maintain the leadership edge. One of them is to roar as a lion. Out there, you attempt mighty things. One of the things you do is to believe God on a higher scale than her. You dare and you pray God with whispers. Have you noticed when women pray, they put a lot of emotions? Oh God, I believe you in the name of Jesus. Women put emotion in their prayer. So the language they use is also very unfamiliar for men. Let us love Jesus, love him. You wonder, how am I supposed to translate that? Love him now, love. Okay. Jesus tried to ask Peter if he loves him, and he had to repeat. If Jesus had asked Mary Magdalene, the other Marys, the first question they would have caught it. When you lead worship with men, Jesus never told any disciple, come follow me because I love you. He simply told, follow me. Men understand following than loving. And all Jesus' disciples were men. Was Jesus unconstitutional? Was he biased? How come 12 out of 12? No gender balance. But he had 12 who had titles. But he had many disciples of women who did not have titles. In fact, they were more faithful. It is them who noticed he had resurrected. It was women who noticed it. It was women who stayed when he was being crucified. Men had fled. Jesus did not give women titles because women don't need titles to follow. They were not given any role, even the one for the betrayer. It was a guy still. Even the betrayer needed a title, treasurer. So let men introduce their titles, please. Don't ostracize them. It's something for them. Adam was given a title before he was given a family. I'm the manager of the Garden of Eden, and I'm the general overseer of... my name is Edwin. I am the director, and I am the chair, development committee. It's okay, but women, how do they introduce themselves? Praise the Lord, church. My name is Margaret. I'm a mother of two and a grandmother of one. Men never say they are grandfather. Grand who? You know, I got married and week 2, my wife is introducing, nimekuja na mzee wangu, hata mimi natafuta mzee. Karibu niseme, we, mzee ako home na blanket. To them, they use it as a title of seniority. So, men, I'm saying is a lion because the Lion of Judah, but he's also the lamb of the tribe. You know, the lamb of the house of David is the lion. Lamb, we represent Jesus. There are titles about Jesus I love so much. By the way, men, are you reading the Bible alone? Men, you need to go a stone throw ahead. When Jesus went to the guys on the mountain, he went a stone throw ahead. You don't become leader just because you are the husband. To be a man is a verb. It's not a noun. It's not just that you are a male human being. You must man up. Perform the role. Prove it. Give me a physical Bible. This is the tool of power of all husbands. This. Every other thing is dispensable. The job you are doing, most women are very diligent at work. They can get more promotions than you. But if you can interpret scripture deeper than her, she will respect you all her life. I was telling you how women pray. When we are saying we are praying for money for the project or for money for school fees, God, remember us, you promise. That's how she'll pray. But if the guy has to pray for the same thing, God, you know the situation. We know you'll do it. In Jesus' name. But because I don't put a lot of emotion, she thinks it's not effective. She thinks I'm not serious. Tukikwambia uombe unaongea tu. Men pray like that. It's about the depth of faith and the fatherly authority. It's not a number of words. I feel very flattered with my girl always tells me, pray for me. And she's sincere about it. She has a headache, please pray for me. Women, borrow a leaf. Ask him to pray for you. He will pray straight to the point because guys go straight to the point, but that's good enough. It's the amount of faith. God worked with the father Abraham. Abraham, the only guy I like, the prayer of Daniel is written down in Daniel chapter 9. So men, are we agreed that every day you must read the Bible? Look for a way, look for a program that works for you. You can use the Daily Bread. The Daily Bread, they have an app. They suggest verses for you every day. And wanaume, you must wake up ahead of your wife unless you're on night shift. Wake up early so that you can go ahead and fight the demons that were about to attack your family. Job would wake up, go sacrifice cows for his family, saying perhaps they insulted God, perhaps they blasphemed. I pray for them. The man must go ahead and pronounce things ahead. You get your authority by performing. Study the word. Wake up. Go. By the way, although I want you to perform things together, things to do with God, there's a part that is very individual. Worship, praying, many of them for us, we find it easier because my schedule is, I'm a very early person. Some of you could be earlier, and others is evening. If you can't do it early in the morning and you're an evening person, do it at night. It's okay. I have a friend of mine who prays midnight, but he wakes up at 8. Me, I sleep at 10. I wake up at 4. Every day. My alarm is permanently set at 4. Many times I wake ahead of it. In fact, there's a conference I usually do Sundays morning for some guys in America at 4:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m. Now, they have had daylight saving. They have changed by 1 hour. So I'll be doing it 4 a.m. We have taken it back so that it's not too late for them. The early bird catches the worm. The early lion hunts the fattest deer. We are not a bird this time. Men, let me repeat this, and I hope even if you forget everything else, find a program through which you study the word. The way Pastor was preaching here, you can be sure Sister Claudia respects that above everything. The man is grounded in God. She feels safe. Sisters, am I right? When your man is grounded in God, and a survey was done in America where people were asked what they remember about their fathers. You can be funny. You can find this very funny, but they said my father was a governor, he was a mayor, he had this many tractors. But if there's something that hangs on my head to this day, are those moments I saw him reading the Bible. Children, now they're adults, they're being asked what they remember most about their fathers. The moment they found him. This is your magic as a man. This is your magic. Let your wife ask you where the verses are. Google for her, even if you don't know them. Lose every other authority, but not that one. Another thing I want you to do is learn to give offering for the sake of your wife. Women are more emotionally receptive than us, so they get easily stressed. They are overwhelmed by circumstances faster than us. Because they are carrying children, they are carrying baby, they have an emotional cycle. Which emotional cycle does a man have? The one for feeling nini? Wanaume ninja tu tupata. For men, it's mainly hunger. We don't. Hunger for the stomach and the other stomach below there. I know you are told that the way to a man's heart is through the stomach, but by now you know it's somewhere below the stomach. So, for men, and one of the things another time I'll teach is, even that bedroom act, you can win a lot of respect from your woman if you do it right. Don't ride it like a bicycle. Three areas are very sensitive to the egos of men. Three areas are extremely sensitive that immature men can't take correction in these three areas. One, their intelligence. So never call your man stupid even when you're angry. Never ask him what kind of man are you. Number two is culture and sophistication. Usite mwanaume mshamba. Everybody wants to feel like they are cultured and sensitive. The third is sexuality. Don't fail to tell him how to satisfy you, because if you keep quiet over time, you get frustrated and disconnect. Men, by now you know our ladies enjoy the act just as good as us if you do it right. Some people asked me how far Christians should explore, and I told them exploring for Christians should be different for non-Christians. Non-Christians do sex as if it is everything they have. They want to feel, and they think it is the act. For you, a mature Christian, you don't have to do sex on a rooftop to feel it. Can you imagine people leaving the house to go do sex in the car? And the neighbors are seeing a car shake. The man of God should have moderation. There are some styles that show disrespect. They don't show that you treat her queenly. You should treat her respectfully everywhere. Everywhere. Out, inside. She should be honored here and at home. She should feel treated special. What matters for Christians is not the postures or the positions. It's the emotional connection. If you treat your woman right, even holding hands has a lot of chemistry. More chemistry than for those drunkards when they do those queer positions. It's not how you look. It's not the position of the bodies. It's the connection of the hearts. Work on the inner connection, And then you shall add spices. You try together. We try this, learn together. Don't watch pornography to bring sexual feelings. Pornography is not about sex. Pornography is about capture, domination, perversion, objectification of women. Pornography has nothing to do with passion and love. Nothing. It's an industry that rides on addiction and the domination of women. It's about power, not passion. True love is about passion. Pornography is about power, domination, subduing. That's why the women are paid in the pornography industry. They are the ones being exploited. That's why they are being paid. They are the ones whose faces are shown. It's the one being put down. As a man, don't go outside. There are some things a man should never suggest to his woman. At one of my fantasies, my fetish is that we have a threesome. There are some people out there who talk like that. And I tell them, by the fact that he can mention that thing to you, he has disrespected you to the uttermost. Let's announce that love is not the most important thing in marriage, but respect comes first. Respect comes first. Nobody can love you if they don't respect you. One way to make sure people respect you, let's say this, we are committed in this union for life. We are in this to stay. Me, I'm not here with one leg outside. My mind is made up. We are the ones who need to revise this every day. I started by telling you, this woman is the best deal you could get. As long as she's a virtuous woman. I described narcissists briefly. In case you realize you are living such a life, talk to pastor. Call up somebody you trust. We don't want to bury you. We would rather hear the reality that you made a mistake in your marriage than having to bury you. Pastor said he does not want to bury anyone. We don't want you here and your children are being damaged. When you stay in an abusive marriage, you confuse children. You're modeling to them that abuse and love are synonymous. Disrespect and abandonment and crying and tears go along with marriage. But I want you to be real. So we have said we are in this marriage to stay. But there's something I must put a warning there. We told you for better, for worse. For richer, for poorer. Everything in that vow was talking about the two of you. When we are richer, when we are poorer. When we are hungry, when we are full, we shall stay together. But it did not mean when the person has abandoned you, you continue fighting for the marriage alone. It meant that when we are together, I'm here to stay. But if you abandon me, I stay here doing what? Do you understand? If your partner leaves and starts cheating out there, even the Bible allowed you to save your heart, save your health, save your emotions, pull out also. Never let people think you can stay through everything, through abuse, through disrespect, through abandonment, through abuse. Never let them think so. In fact, the secret is to always let them know that you can be happy without them. People must fear losing you. If they don't fear losing you, they will not respect having you. Are we together? I want you to be so useful to your partner, but they also know, should they go out there, they get seduced. Wanaume wacha tukubali. Women also suffer temptations, but because I'm a man, I am more familiar with the temptations of men. You find temptations out there, but why do you resist other women? Because you fear losing your woman. True or false? Hey, wanaume tuongea ni kweli kidogo. Because you know you cannot replace her. The way she understands you, the way she supports you, the way she prays for you. Women, please pray for your man. From the time the world was created, men have been a target of the devil. The first family, the first mother lost 2 sons. One killed the other one. The daughter's story was so quiet, their names are not even mentioned. Because the enemy had been told that the seed of the woman will bruise you. So he knew it's a boy who is being sent to beat me. So he hated boys. God changed strategy because the enemy had started targeting boys. Boys die more in diarrhea. When there is diarrhea, the Y chromosome is very weak. They die more in higher numbers. Drugs are targeting men. Football, betting targeting men. Terrorist men. Look at the bad places. I hear in most hospitals, there's a wing for motorcycle accidents. Dedicated for motorcycle accidents. So their limbs broken and they are like this. Men are hunted. So God changed strategy to hide the mission among women. That's how you see Mary and Elizabeth carrying the destiny of the world. One carrying the Savior, the other one the forerunner of the Savior. They are greeting, babies are jumping up. Women started carrying destiny. You see another place, Elimelech carries his children called Mahlon and Chilion. Mahlon means disease, Chilion means finished. Please pay attention to the names you give your children. So Elimelech left Bethlehem, Judah, to go down to Moab. So the father took the two sons and his wife. They went down. When they went there, the children married women from there. The movements of fathers affect the associations of the children. Don't stay in a neighborhood where the children are delinquent, because your children will pick that behavior as well. One reason to move to good neighborhoods is because your children are absorbing the atmosphere. They're absorbing the environment. So Mahlon and Chilion married Moabite women like Ruth and Orpah. But all the men died. 3 out of 3. It was 2 women who returned, Naomi and Ruth. One mentoring the other. Women, listen to me. You must have a prayer network in your life and a mentorship network. At some point, we men, we are almost being defeated at war. It is your prayer that saves us. Women, listen to me. There's a time Joshua was fighting, but Moses was the one praying for him. When he lowered his hands, Joshua lost. When he lifted, Joshua won. Please lift hands for us. Moses was not praying alone. He had other guys helping him to stay. So you need a network of prayers. We men, we go to face the world. We have a duty to be a priest for you, to pronounce things. But as we face the world, sometimes on the road I see near accidents. I've had many near misses with accidents. And I know it is the prayers of my woman that keeps me safe. All my shows, she prays for them. She prays for meetings like this. She's fasting and praying for me. Women, you must have a secret, private prayer life. As a team to go far, the way he's praying for you, you must also pray for him. Are we together? The weapon we have that the world does not have is that we understand. What does it say in Psalm 25 that the secret of the Lord is with those who fear him? God gives you the secrets. What Pastor preached here today was pure secrets. True of us. Without what he taught today, you will never understand that you can be saved, but you are still oppressed, suppressed. That the demon was brought in legally. And you are, Pastor answered many questions in my mind. We have secrets we are getting here, they don't have. So the couple that is in church, that is under pastor, should do better than couples that are just going to say, are we together? Some of us were there, isn't it? And everything was a script. Script. There is no personal, emotional connection. Pastor, I liked the singing, and I must come one of these days and sing with these guys. In singing, we pour our emotions and we get closer to God in an individual way. Let me warn you. Our singles, mnaona hapa wanaweza olewa na waende. Are we together? Wengine waoe na kwenye wameoa kuko possessive, wanahamishwa, wanapelekwa huko. You, the couples, this is your home better than all other groups in this church. This is your home. Wale wanatafutana, nyinyi sasa mnatafuta. They are looking, you are building. Before you get married, you don't plan your future a lot because you're not sure who you will be married to. Isn't it? A lot of things are on hold. But after you get married, now you are building. Let me finish with one point. There's a lot I could have told you, but I wanted you to swallow this. Go apply them. When you meet next time, you've done something. The family fellowship, I will not emphasize a lot on it, but you need the way to eat together so that you can connect. Eating and praying are one place you need to institute. As much as possible, eat together. As much as possible, read a scripture, pray there together. But if your schedules are alternated, one is earlier, the other one is late, look for what you can do, even if it's not every day. When opportunity arises, eat together. Na wanaume, tusikulie kwa nyumba the whole month, mupeleke kwa local hotel, mukunywe chai hapo. Men, please listen. Sometimes we forget. I admit I forget. So she just reminds me. I was thinking tomorrow I can eat, or remember, yeah, it's been a while. I think it's okay. So ladies, suggest to us. Women have a sharper emotional thermometer than men. Men, we are busy with work. So sometimes we lose grip of where we are. We are looking at how much balance money we have. Tukienda kwa hotel to spend. The women don't care how much money you spend there. They just wanted the quality time. She will not force you to buy things that are out of your budget. Sometimes she will pay herself. She just wanted the quality time. I hear language with my wife I've never heard in my life. That is so long since I went out. I feel like I'm suffocating. I'm wondering, suffocating? Si dirisha imefuguriwa. But women, you get that language, isn't it? They want to break the monotony. Let's just drive away. She loves nature. If it were for me, I would simply be indoors studying, researching, talking to guys, quoting. I can do that all year round. But she came to ventilate my life and balance it. Please allow your woman to balance your life. I know some men are more adventurous than women, so also draw her out. Maybe she's introverted and she's indoors most of the time. Draw her out. But let me remind you, even an introverted woman is very talkative when she's in her house. If somebody is quiet around you, it's not because they are introverted, it's because they are uncomfortable around you. Introverts are only reserved in public. In private, when they are around the people they are comfortable with, they are playful. They may need more alone time occasionally. They withdraw to reorganize their thoughts, to recharge. But generally, when they are comfortable with you, they don't look like they're hiding things, they are secret. How many of you are building in your mother's compound? Lift your hand. I strongly suggest we get our women their own territory, away from the mother-in-law. Unless you are inheriting from a wealthy family like the Chris Kirubis and they give you a car and a home and they're just next to you there. But even if they give you a home like that, rent it out and go start runda. Go somewhere else. I don't want your chicken, kuku za bibi yako zinakutana za mama na alamu anaanza kupigania kuku na sufuria. You need to give your woman peace of mind to sweep the way she wants. Even up country. Many last-born boys are required to build in the compound many times, isn't it? If that is the case and your culture requires you to be around, put a fence. Put the gate the other side. Let your woman come and go without being, leo ametoka saa 4, ametoka saa 5, akarudi bona saa 6. Then somebody is keeping a log. 10 or 4 out. 12 or 2 back. In the company of a person in a white shirt. Give your woman privacy. Sometimes she cannot fight with your people. It is you to fight for her. I have built a house in my mother's compound at home, but we don't live there. We only visit there. So because I knew my mother needed me around, I'm the most important son to her so far. The one who gives her, tunatembea pamoja maisha. So we needed a house. But I just built a small one. It's not a home. It's just a house. My real home will be very far, kilometers away. So you can build a house for the purpose of presence at home, but it's not your home. It's where to sleep when you go home so that you don't share with the other in-laws there. And then don't let your woman to be seen when she's naked. They will describe her badly. They will say, kumbe hata hakuangi poa hivyo. Haki shape yake hata ana shape. That's why I put a small one at home. Just a small one there. So that when we go home, aenda abadilishie mtoto diapers somewhere kando. Mke ule usiku anataka to make the tea for, that privacy brings a lot of respect. But that's not my home. My home will be far away. Anyway, I'm not the last born. There's another boy. I expect him to build there with the mother, but I strongly advise him to do the next with a fence and a gate the other side. Give your woman peace of mind as much as possible. Are we together, guys? Let me finish by telling you about mastery. Say mastery. Mastery is the highest level of competence in your field of calling. The highest level of competence in your field of calling. Mastery is a level of competence. There are other levels. Student. When you studied in the university, you were a student. After student, you become an apprentice or an intern. You studied under other practitioners in the field. Level 3 is called practitioner. Practitioner is when you are a nurse, lawyer, accountant. What's your job, my sister? Whatever you are, you're a practitioner there. Whatever you're doing now, you're an auditor. You're a practitioner there. Practitioners are paid for the services rendered. But the problem with being a practitioner is that you are replaceable. If the company wants to cut down, you'll be cut off. Mastery means you study your craft so well, you invest in it. Mastery takes 7 to 10 years of constant practice. If I can teach you this today, and from 5, some of you, the last 2 or 3 years, you have been really practicing, you have been doing it. So the next 5 years, some of you start mastering your craft. Your pastor has mastered preaching. He is so much in it, you can sense flow as he talks. Masters mesmerize everyone. When you see a master keyboard player, although there are many people playing, you see something in him. He plays it from somewhere else. Other people play it from the fingers. Masters play from the soul. And they are enough. They are not sweating to get it done. Do you get the point? When pastor is preaching, see kutafutilia point. You can go people for, have I said this one? Yeah, this one is similar like the other one, but you add the word not. You know, when some brothers read Ezekiel 37, you know what they are going to preach. The valley of dry bones. In case your situation is on dry bone, we declare. No, that's a sermon. You even feel insulted. My professors told me, if you bring me shoddy work that you have not put energy in, you're insulting me by asking me to get out of it something you did not put in. They rebuked me. They told me, you better not submit any paper if you have not put your thought to it. What am I going to engage in? The paper is your mind. I wanted to engage with your mind, your energy, your research, your thoughtfulness. I want to interact with your intellect there. A presentation is the same. I was happy that singers were singing with a level of mastery, half of it. The singing you saw today is half of mastery. If a person the 2 guys who are leading are on the path there, I could see they love it and they're on their way. I have a few things I will teach them later. There are songs they sang which did not have emotion. They had a lot of words but empty emotion. They were dry. Pastor, niongee hizo ama niache? The value of a song is the emotions, not the words. Let it be felt. Ukirusha na usikie praise ndio inaimba, hawa waimbi, change it at once. Ukiona audience imeangalia screen, change it. They should read the screen once, twice, washike. The secret is give them music that is from their culture. It will resonate with their DNA. They will feel it at once. If you notice that all your audience is 100% African, make sure your music is not 90% Western. Let me go back to couple. Mastery means I want you to challenge your wife to find the field she loves and dominate, colonize it. Masters like Jeff Koinange don't talk about joblessness. Maina Kageni knows nothing about COVID lost jobs. Oprah Winfrey knows nothing about recession and lockdown. When you are a master in your craft, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, you work on your own terms. You are paid what you want and you work on the days you feel like. You get control over the direction of your career. The best person to make you a master is your partner. Because they are your sparring partner. Even if they are not in your field, they call out what they see. I want to invite you to make sure your partner masters their field. Kama ako job, they don't feel it. They struggle every day. Help them to move to where they belong. My girl is liked by children universally. Even warrior children, they notice her, even she tries to hide. Perhaps because she has a baby face like them. I keep telling her if she goes to kindergarten na achungulie kwa dirisha, watamsalimia, habari yako mwenzetu. I think her energy is very comfortable for them. So she's doing masters in counseling psychology. And I told her, when you finish, even now she's doing an internship around teenagers and children. I told her, if I were you, I would look for something to do with children. She works with children, they change behavior like this. Even without her trying to ask them to change. They change to impress her. I'm trying to call out. She helps me monitor my presentations. She tells me which stations are good for me. I married her in 2019 and the world knew about me 2020. Is it only a coincidence? I had started practicing my craft in 2011 for sure. Mastery takes 10 years. 9, if you do it very concentrating, you can get there in 8, 9, 10 years. Only 3 guys in history did it in 7 years. And I don't think, I also used to think I was a genius like them. So I gave myself 7 years. Unfortunately, I was proved wrong. But I want you to look for field you love. Let me tell you the few benefits. I've told you the benefit. If you master your thing, Paul said, study to show yourself approved. Paul said, forgetting what lies behind, I stretch forward to lay hold of that for which Christ got me. God wants you to know your thing in and out. He said the harvest is ready. It's the workers who are few. The workers God has are half-baked. To rightly divide the word of truth, to discern the dynamics of your field. Next time I'll tell you that all careers serve God. It's about how you structure it. You can be an accountant who is representing God there. A medic who is representing excellence of God there. You can be a lawyer who makes people respect Christians. Your field, you can serve God there. Of course, except manufacturing things like Pombe, like Keroche, those things. If you're manufacturing things that you get money but destroy the lives, you don't even see God there. I want you to do a thing that you can sell to your family and your friends. That is always the test. Would you market this thing to your friends and your own family? If you can't, why are you selling it to other families? Jesus said, do to others what you want done to you. All right? This world is wide enough. You don't have to say, mimi ni miraa tu, I can only sell miraa. Musiniulize miraa peke yake. We must be the difference bringers. All right? So mastery will help you have freedom to work where you want. Today, stations take me on my terms. When I was young, I was taking anything they throw at me. When you are growing, when you are young, when you decide today to climb to mastery, the way you start practicing, you take any invitation you are given, any, to try. But when you become established does not mean you settle. No. When you pick momentum, you arrive at the level where you can affect, you have reached mastery when your work resonates with the larger public. You understand? When songs resonate, the sermons resonate, the book, the auditing work, the lawyering, people connect with it. The public always likes excellence. They don't have the name mastery, but I'm telling you because you master the skill so that watching Lionel Messi play is entertaining. Watching Kipchoge run is entertaining. Masters are entertaining when they're performing. I want you to stop being mediocre. Pick a field that you love and you can master it in and out. Are we together? If you master it, you start earning well to pay for a better lifestyle for your family. Pastor said if you're earning 150,000, you are not rich. You're just mediocre. If you're earning 1,500 USD and you think you're very wealthy, it's because your mindset is very small. I told my wife, one of the things that I want us to marry, but your job description is to help me become a billionaire. That's my aim. And Pastor mentioned it here. I'm not trying to earn few hundred thousands. I'm crafting my thing so that I can earn in millions. I want you to craft your skill so that you can earn in lump sums. That's how we can build a build tower. We can build many churches are in Mabati structures. Because they have not mastered anything to have the money, or they don't have the heart in the house of God. I invite you, challenge each other. The first conversation I want you to have today. What do you really love? Is that job you're doing, you really love it? The brother was doing the games here. He loves his work. Where is he? He really loves his thing. My brother, this is your thing. Keep it up. You can see it's in him, isn't it? He's not trying to figure it out. It's in him. He brings joy. When you do a thing that is The day you will see a guitar player who has mastered it, you'll be glued to the screen just watching. One of the preachers I was studying, because General said, I simply catch myself in fire and the world comes to watch me burn. Find what you love and let it kill you. That is to say, die doing it. Forget everything else, do that thing. Pastor, to reach a point where I told him he's the African TD Jakes. To preach the way he's preaching here, he had to forget everything and risk everything to pursue preaching. True or false? He said, if this fails, me, I'm done. Get a thing that you can say, if this fails, I'm done. Most of you keep plan B, thinking plan B is it's a contingency plan. Just in case this, I have a... Side hustles can become distractions. People preach side hustles. But any venture that brings money requires your presence. Except in investments. Investments are when you have real estate or shares. Those are investments. But side hustles, selling mayai somewhere by the candle. You have to keep monitoring it, checking it, supervising it. It divides you. I want you to forget all plan B. Burn the bridges. Somebody give me your career. What is your career, my brother? Yes, you. You're a trainer. I want you to forget everything and put your energy at it. Forget plan B, the pigs you wanted to keep by the side, the this. For a number of 2, 3, 4 years, study everything about training. Do it with a heart as if it is a matter of life and death. Scale up the scales so that you can be paid the way you want. Me, I'm not paid the way other counselors are paid. I don't charge the way other life coaches charge. I charge according to the value I offer. And if you can't afford it, excuse me, there are many shops. Check the next shop. Those who bought rings, gold rings, you must have come across the name Nagin Patni. Nagin Patni, the gold dealers, they were indies. They don't negotiate. They just give you the chart written the prices. If you buy, they also have a universal discount like 5% for purchases above 30,000. You know, they sell on their terms because they have colonized the field. That's what I want you to do. But if you go to Isili, they want to take, they negotiate too much because they have to make a sale. Make a name. I told my wife, I want to be a global teacher, a global speaker. And I realized you don't aim at the world, you aim at the individual. You understand individual issues so well that even a person in Caribbean connects with it. Right now, I get feedback from all over. People I don't even know. I'm just getting used to being recognized. I'm just trying to live my former life. People shock me by calling me my name. Just trying to walk in a supermarket, just having a good... Somebody, the cashier calls me by, okay. You know. Don't worry about fame. Don't worry about being known. Concentrate on your thing. Sifa ni za Mungu. Yeye ndiye atajua kazi yako itagusa akina nani. Let him decide about glory. It's not your work. Concentrate on your work. Concentrate on it until you leave this earth. Forget who knows you, who doesn't. I want you to get obsessed about your career, about your calling. You must have an obsessive quality about your thing to wake up in the middle of the night to study about it. Pastor has not told me this, but if I were to ask Claudia, she will tell me many times the guy sneaks out of bedroom to go write ideas that are in the head before they disappear. True or false? When you love your thing, ideas come on you when you don't even know. And I don't want to wake up my wife, so I tiptoe to go write them. When you are a singer, the songs, a rhythm crosses your head. If you don't write it, it will disappear. When you are a trainer, you see a game, an idea of a game. You just saw children playing. That can be something, okay? Then you have to write it quickly before it gets carried away. You get it, my brother? Trainers get ideas, fragments. When you love your thing, you see suggestions about it everywhere. The guys who are sound engineers, even as I talk, they can see a mistake I'm making. They could tell me if you lower this, it will become they're so good with the sound. When you're a keyboard player, you hear keyboard being played off key, very far away, and you're very distracted and annoyed. I can tell musicians here because the moment you touch a wrong key, they react. They have a very sharp musical ear. That's the field. A chef will notice small details. They've been told. We have been told there's a very good chef here. And my encouragement for them is to train others. I'm trying to train other life coaches and speakers. I don't want to leave the scene. Today people keep regretting, where were the Zulus in our day? Somebody should have just told us, even if we don't obey, let us just hear. And I prayed God, from today for the next 100 years until he comes, Kenya shall never lack a speaker to tell people the right things. That's my prayer. Don't shine alone. Don't be the only fish in the pond. One farmer was having superior crop year after year. He was harvesting very good things. But he was asked, he kept donating the good seeds to the neighbors. They could not understand it. They were your competitors. Why are you giving them good seeds? He said, you see, pollination happens across our farms. If they have weak crop, the weak seed will also affect my output. So I want all of us to have a superior crop. Make sure there's another guy performing as well as you, so that at least the appointments you can take, you can ask them, you can exchange notes. If you are the only guy with a car in the village, if it goes down, who will jumpstart you? Yes. I keep telling my people that the envy, it just eats you up in the end. Build other people. You do not lose your light by lighting another person's candle. The room just becomes brighter. The world is very big and your uniqueness cannot be replaced. Even if today there was another 1,000 speakers in Kenya, I would still be cutting my niche because they can't compete with being me. It's only me who is me, so nobody can beat me at being me. My taste, my chemistry, my style, the way I talk, my energy is irreplaceable. Stop this petty competition. Help others come up. They will never replace you. So I finished by asking you to build each other. Help them find the career where they belong. Men, don't tell your woman to become a stay-home wife. You can stay home when children require your attention, when they are delicate. But after that, move on. Find your career also. So that as I talk about work, you also talk about work. We are thinking on the same level. If you stay home and I'm dealing with leadership and solving problems, my thinking is being stretched and stretched. Yours at home just watching soap opera and social media will grow apart. Make sure you grow in the same direction. Face the same challenges, face life together, counter issues together, discuss together, expand together, grow in the same direction. God bless you so much.